Hey everyone, it's crZym. So here it is, my first video talking about the Battlefield 4 beta. The reason I didn't do this earlier was because I basically didn't have a lot of time, and so I spent it playing the Battlefield 4 beta instead of talking about it. But now I've got some pretty good impressions about it, and I will talk about Battlefield 4 beta right now. So the first thing that I felt when I played the game was that I was a bit disappointed because it's a really limited build, there's not a lot of stuff in there. But after some time I got over it, and it's still a lot of fun to play, even though there's only little stuff in there and only a really little part of what we're gonna see in the final release. One more thing I got to say is that the gameplay you see here, the graphics do not look that good, basically because my computer is not able to run it really well at high settings at the moment, so we're gonna have to work around with that stuff that we got here. But I've seen it over at my friend's PC. He's able to run it at 1080p medium to high settings, so it looks pretty awesome in my opinion. So the first thing I want to talk about is the map design on Siege of Shanghai and kind of the feel that we can expect from Battlefield 4. So I do like this map. It only gets a little bit boring if you play it over and over again, but in general it's a good map in my opinion. And the reason why I think is that it has the old standard Wake Island layout. If you think about it, it's a new shape with water in the middle, brought down to a much smaller scale than Wake Island, but still it is, and this layout always works great, so I really like that. One of the things that caught my eye was that all of the flags have protection from vehicles, especially from air vehicles. So there's always an area that you can get into where you are gonna be on the burn of the flag, so you're gonna be able to take it from there, and you will have cover from air vehicles and ground vehicles as well, partially. So this is a thing that gives a lot of power into infantry soldiers, because you now can cap a flag and no one can harm you basically. You know, tanks can pretty much go everywhere, but as far as air goes, you can be quite assured that no one is gonna be able to get you if you're sitting on a flag. So this means that infantry has a lot more importance now. You need infantry players to clear an enemy flag, because otherwise you might not be able to take it, because if you drive a tank in the close building, the chances that you get blown up are pretty high. So infantry players, at least on this map, has a lot more importance on capping the flag, which is a pretty big change, but maybe it's for the better, maybe not. We'll see how it works on other maps. The added water combat is really nice in my opinion. The option to dive is really a neat experience, and sometimes you even are able to slip away from enemies that were shooting you. You're diving, they can't see you, and then you can get away, or you can pop up and shoot them with the pistol. A lot of fun, had some awesome moments with that, and it's kind of cool. And also if you're on the other side, you know, shooting an enemy and suddenly he goes diving and you can't see him anymore, it's weird, you know, you get a little bit panic, where is he, where's gonna go up, and it's a lot of fun to play with that. Also, the cool thing about it is that it is not on a timer or anything. You can dive as long as you want, but at a certain period you will get damaged. So that's a cool concept in my opinion, and you really should keep that in for the final release. Now, one other thing that is quite interesting is that there are a lot of interactive options in a map, and when I first heard it, I was like, yeah, I mean, those things are nice, but they're not gonna impact the game too much, and in the end they're a little bit of a gimmick in my opinion. But as I started playing it, they got more and more important. I mean, there aren't too many things, but one of the biggest things is that deflag the shutters. And at first I thought, you know, they're gonna just be like visual obstructions, but in reality you cannot shoot through them, which is a little bit unrealistic, but it is in the game. So this really makes a lot of change, because no one can shoot you from outside, but they can see you, but still you're secure in there. They can still use RPGs, grenades, C4 to blow the thing up, but you got a little bit more protection on that area, which can be pretty vital to lock that flag down. Especially in domination, it makes a pretty big difference. Also, the ballers are a little bit annoying. They can be quite effective. If you see some tanks coming, you can stop them from running straight through. But the biggest thing is still the tower, and the first thought was that every guy's gonna run at the tower and blow it up, and that's it. Now, the first couple of rounds, the first couple of days, it was like that, but after that people started to recognize that it's not all about blowing up the tower, but just play the game, and it's still a great thing. And the thing that I love is, if you have the tower, you're not gonna blow it up. You just won't do it because you love the head advantage, you love to be up there. And here comes one more factor into this game. Those are the elevators. There are a lot of elevators on this map. Some lead to high-res buildings where you can snipe from, but you do not have a lot of cover up there. It's fun to go up there, but it's not really something that is efficient, but you can use it to get a little bit of a drop on the enemy if you like. So most of the elevators lead you to open rooftops, so there's no problem with them being positions that you really need to be, but if you want to, you can go there. So if you get camped there and you get shot as soon as you get off the elevator, it's your own fault. You don't have to be up there. It's not too much of use if you're up there. So, you know, elevators that get camped are annoying, but in my opinion, on those some that are on the outside, it doesn't even make a difference. But the big thing is, in my opinion, that the towers in the elevator also get camped from enemies. Of course, if you have the C flag, the only thing you have to do is lock down those elevators, and then you're good and secure, unless an enemy chopper comes. But if you got a couple of guys up there, you can easily get that thing away from that flag, so no problem there. Now the thing that I find so genius that DICE did was, okay, we have these elevators in there. It can be annoying if you get camped up there. Now the thing that you can do pretty easily, if the enemy has the flag, blow up the tower, elevators are gone, no more problem there, and you're good to go and bail out on an open C flag. So this is a really neat mechanic that I liked, and I really started to think about it this way. You know, you see, okay, enemies got the tower, you're not gonna try 10 times to get in the elevator and die every time you get up there. No, you're just gonna go down there, take a tank, chopper or something of that kind, and blow up those pillars. Tower comes down and you're good to go. Much better in that way, and this is really a fun way, and if you don't like what's happening on the battlefield, you can change it, and that's the cool thing about that. And I don't think that they've promised too much with that, but it's an awesome feature. Another feature that I really like that has been implemented is the new cover system. So for all of you that don't know, in Battlefield 4 you can take cover behind certain objects such as pillars or those concrete slabs where you can just duck behind, and if you aim in, you can will pop up over the cover or to the side of the pillar or stuff like that. So this will hide more of your body from the enemy, but it will still be able to see if you peek out. And so yeah, that's basically all it is. This really gives a lot more options to approach, kind of an objective. If you're not sure if anyone's there, you can take cover, peek out quickly, and hold the position more effectively. It isn't in a way that people would camp constantly and that you can't shoot anybody anymore, but it's a good fun, and sometimes you can outsmart your enemy with that move. Now, the biggest change in my opinion is the suppression change on the gunplay side. The suppression is far less, only LMGs and sniper, especially more on the sniper side, they have suppression, but the other weapons don't really have that much. There's a little bit of a visual effect, but overall there's little sway added to the weapon, and so you're still able to hit the targets very effective. This doesn't make too much difference for assault and engineer, or better said for assault rifles and carbines and all that kind of weapons, but especially as a sniper, you're really gonna feel it. You're much more efficient. You can hit your shots even if they shoot at you, you can shoot back and hit accurately. If you can keep calm and aim at the head, you'll get the kill, no problem. It's awesome. It's far better than in Battlefield 3. Now one thing that I was skeptical about were the pickup weapons. Now, for all of you that haven't had a look at them yet, there are 4 in the game currently, at least in Siege of Shanghai. There's the Users, the Starship, which is a rocket launcher with I believe it's 2 rockets in there, pretty powerful, can lock onto vehicles itself, and so yeah, but it's the only pickup weapon. The M82A3, which we had a good talk about, the 50 cal weapon, and the M32 grenade launcher, which is also pretty powerful and has a lot of grenades in it. It's a one-hit kill, and it's really powerful. Now the thing is that those weapons also spawn on specific locations. In my opinion, this is really interesting, that if you have tower standing in Conquest, it spawns the Starship and an M82A3, which gives you a lot of ability to defend that flag really well. But if you bring it down, the M32 will spawn. So this is more of a ground weapon and will more support the flag of C. So the users will only be on domination as far as I know. I guess it's also on obliteration, but I hadn't had the chance to play that much to really know it. The first thought was that those weapons are gonna be overpowered, and in domination they play a really big role. But domination is not really what Battlefield is all about, so let's go back to Conquest. And in Conquest they're a neat little addition. If you have them, it's nice, but in the end, yeah, you have a little bit of an advantage, but not much. and there's so much stuff happening, and even if you have a good weapon, someone can come up behind you. It's gonna be choppers, tanks. What are you gonna do with an M82 or 3 against a tank? Nothing. So they will help in certain situations if you can use them to your advantage. You know, stick to the role that those weapons offer you, then you can do some damage, but ammo is slow, you're gonna run out, and that's it. The last thing I want to talk about is the vehicle combat, as well as a little bit on the lock-on mechanic. One thing that is annoying in the beta is right now that if you aim with a tank, you're not gonna hit where you aim at because it shoots much slower. That's not the bullet, or best said, the projectile drop, but it's just a bug so that the sights are a little bit too high. So if you have a problem with that, just aim even higher and you're gonna get the hit. Vehicle combat has been changed a bit, and the biggest thing is the new disabled mechanic. I was a bit irritated at first, and I still don't know which areas you have exactly to hit, but I don't want to really research that now in the beta because I think it might be bugs, might be glitches, so I'm gonna be waiting till the final game comes out to see what the specific areas are for every vehicle. Now, having said that, the disabled mechanic is a big change, because it doesn't mean that your vehicle is not gonna repair anymore, that it is kinda unmovable anymore, but it's just that you're disabled. The better your health status is, the faster it will repair from the disabled state. If you're really low on health, you're gonna stay disabled for a long time. Also, it means that you don't have to repair all the way up. If you can repair over the disabled state or repair a bit, you're good to go. So this is a really big change and makes a lot of difference, because, you know, if you're disabled but you have managed to kill an enemy, normally in Battlefield 3 you would have been a sitting duck, you have had to get out and repair for a long time, and you only could then drive away. Now in Battlefield 4 you can go for quick repair, get out of there, get to a safe location, repair your vehicle at full health and start off again. The same thing goes for choppers, but in addition to that, I found that if you're disabled with a helicopter, you really have taken a beating and it's really hard to fly with that thing. But still, it will repair itself after some time, so if you can get out of there and are able to maneuver that thing out, you don't even have to get out to repair, it will do itself. One more thing on that note is that I realized that the chopper now can take a lot of hits from the enemy chopper gun, as well as the heat seekers. You can battle for so long and you can survive so many things. We also had an occasion where my friend and I, we did a backflip. We hit, I think there's a construction site at one of the spawn points, and we hit kind of one of those cranes there or whatever it was. We did a backflip, you know, nearly crashed. We were at low health, but we still survived. It's surprisingly how they changed that up, that the helicopter is now much more durable, but some heat seekers will still be enough to take him out. So this pretty much covers all my thoughts on the Battlefield 4 beta this far. I'm looking into doing some more in-depth stuff on some mechanics, on some things that I discovered, but I don't want to do much right now because I really want to play. There's only a couple days left of the beta, and especially now they released the Obliteration game mode, and they're really gonna get a good impression on that, and maybe talk some more about the game afterwards, but I'm still gonna do some videos over the next few days. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed that video, be sure to leave a like, leave me a comment of what you think of the Battlefield 4 beta. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. I wish you a really nice day, have a good one, and I'll see you next time.